Item number 11, emergency water restriction and water conservation update. Diana Langley.
Okay, so for water supply for 2015, we were given a 25% allocation from DWR. So as it stands today, our allocation is 17,099 acre feet. With the State Water Resources Control Board mandate of 32% conservation, that would put us at water use for 2015 of about 12,360 acre feet. So our anticipated water use in 2015 will be less than the available water supply. So that's the great news. That's the silver lining. In terms of the state emergency regulations, so in May they adopted emergency regulations that will go into effect June 1st. Yuba City has been placed into Tier 8, which equates to a 32% conservation requirement. How the state will evaluate this is they'll compare water usage for June 2015 through February 2016, and compliance will be assessed on a monthly basis as well as cumulative basis. If the city does not meet the 32% mandate, the State Water Board enforcement measures include informational orders where they request information about your conservation program, conservation orders where they give you a mandate as to the conservation efforts that you should be undertaking, and then cease and desist orders that basically if you violate the cease and desist order, you could be subject to a penalty of up to $10,000 per day. So we have developed a conservation action plan, and I'm not going to go through every bullet on this item, but in terms of the highlights for education, as we've gone through the violation process, one thing that we've noted is that we need to reach out to the Punjabi-speaking and Spanish-speaking community. And so in the next billing for the utility bill, we're going to have information regarding conservation efforts in both Punjabi and Spanish as well as English. We've reached out to the Sutter Yuba Master Gardeners group to see if there are efforts for, opportunities for us to coordinate on education and outreach to the community. We're also looking at we will be developing a water efficient landscape ordinance. We have to report to the state by the end of this calendar year in terms of that ordinance. And then we'll be doing other activities, community events, participating in the summer stroll, the fair, going out to local organizations to provide presentations. We presented to a school last week. We're presenting to a church group tomorrow night. We're presenting to another group in July. So as people request it.
Diana, before you move on from that slide, you said install pole banners in various locations throughout the city. I know that that's something that I had mentioned before, that perhaps so we could have those on major arterials through town to identify for, there it is right there.
So those are the
what they're going to look like.
Yeah, those are the official what they're going to look like. So we're in the process of ordering them. That's to remind people of the correct watering days, the 2 days per week. Outreach to other communities. So we're participating in regional water authority meetings regarding conservation efforts and meeting with other agencies in the region to obtain ideas on effective measures. Sierra and I will be going to the city of Woodland tomorrow to talk about their conservation efforts. As you can see, for the month of April, Woodland achieved a 33.1% reduction. They're doing really well. This is how Yuba City compares to other agencies in the Sacramento region. We're doing okay. There are other agencies that are in Tier 7. Fortunately, we're not in Tier 9, but there are definitely things that we can do to improve our conservation efforts. With the rebate program, we've had the high efficiency toilets, smart irrigation timers, and commercial spray nozzle rebate program in effect since last July. The high efficiency toilet has been the most successful with 41 rebates to date. The other thing that we will be doing, we are not proposing to fund a cash for grass program at this point in time, but rather set up the framework for one so that when grant funds become available, we can say we have the framework in place and we're ready to implement. And then I think most importantly is the continued and enhanced enforcement. We will continue to issue violations for properties that are watering on the wrong day, that are watering on the correct day but wasting water down the sidewalk, individuals using water to clean sidewalks, driveways, hardscape, and then individuals that do not have shutoff nozzles on hoses. Violations issued to date, this is just in 2015, does not include violations last year. 579 first notices, 94 second notices, 6 third notices, and we had our first fourth notice last week, which equates to a $250 surcharge on their water bill. So, in terms of the enforcement, we continue to have water patrols that go out in the community. They take timestamp photos of the properties. We then issue a letter to the customer providing them a copy of the photo, the proof, and then any second or subsequent violation, they're told that a surcharge will be added to their bill. And this has been in place since September 3rd of 2014. So with that, my recommendation is to declare that water supply conditions are still such that they dictate and justify the need for the continued implementation of emergency water restrictions, and authorize staff to continue to issue violations per the municipal code.
Right. Any questions of staff? Comments? All right. Then let's see here. We need to adopt a resolution. So entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.